Your pain has a cause, and once you understand, you can turn it off. And I know that because I've lived with pain since I was a kid. For years, I thought it was from riding horses, all of those long hours in the saddle, bouncing around, sore muscles, me, a scrawny 90-pound kid with the horse pulling on me. I thought for sure that's what was causing my back pain. Made sense, right? But it wasn't the horses. It was something deeper. My body was already dealing with hidden inflammation, pathogen, and a nervous system that was stuck in high alert. And the truth is, a lot of people with long COVID are in the same cycle right now. Whether your pain is in your joints, your muscles, or your nerves, or even your fascia. I'm Carrie Bailey, your no BS, soul-aligned, functional nutritionist. If your body's been whispering, something's not right, and no one has real answers, you're not alone. You're not broken. I'm here to show you how your body truly works, to uncover the root causes that others overlook, and to guide you back to the energy, clarity, and power that has been yours all along. And before we go any further, if you've been trying to figure this out on your own, my new app, Phenotique, is where I'm putting my full method into an easy daily plan that you can actually follow. You don't have to guess anymore. It walks you through exactly what to remove, what to add, and how to start calming that pain cycle day by day. You can check the link below this video for instant access or to join, depending on when you're watching. What if the thing you've been blaming your pain on isn't the real cause? Riding horses, I thought, was the normal soreness or overuse, or again, strain on my body. Pain kept showing up in my life. When I was pregnant with my second child, I threw my back out. I was in excruciating pain. And if you've ever been pregnant, you know they're not going to give you any painkillers. It was in my lower left side. I would say actually describe it as piriformis pain. It was deep inside my hip that went up into my lower back. So during my training, I also learned about oxalates, and I thought oxalates were the cause of my pain and my sleep issues. So many things that I thought. I was just so confused, and so much money that I spent on myofascial release and massages because of my pain. Looking back, early signs of low-grade inflammation, pathogen activity, and a nervous system overdrive was what was really going on. Believe it or not, even in the past 2 years, I had some pain that came up out of nowhere. It's that same pain, lower left side. Again, I don't know if I was like making the bed or I twisted the wrong way, and oh geez. Then I finally realized, oh my gosh, this is viral. So what did I do? I upped my supplements. I upped my vitamin C, my zinc, my lysine, and my curcumin. And when I say upped, I literally doubled the dose. And I was already taking 2 caps twice a day of each of these. So I went up pretty high and hard. But guess what? It worked. It went away. Have you ever blamed your pain on something that turned out not to be the real cause? If you think your pain is random, here's why it's not. Pathogens, that's right. Mostly viruses, I would say. Pathogens keep the immune system switched on, creating chronic inflammation, which again allows body weakness, whether it's an injury or a tear or something else, but the root cause are pathogens. So what happens is that your nerves, which are your pain signals, nerves become hypersensitive. So normal signals become pain signals. You've probably imagined this when you've heard the stories about people get their arm cut off, but then their brain still thinks that there's a phantom limb there and can feel pain in it. What's really happening is you've got the viruses that are creating debris, they're creating waste, they're dying and they need to get removed. There's also toxins that can irritate the joints, the muscles, and the connective tissue. And the toxins and the viral stuff works together as a team. This is all chemistry and signaling. It is not in your head. So I'm curious, is your pain more in your joints, in your muscles, in your nerves, in your fascia? Is it even hard to tell exactly where that pain is? I know if I was ever to describe it, it was always a little bit different. If you don't know what's triggering your pain, you can't stop it. So it's important when you understand the concept of pathogens. The foods that the pathogens eat are dairy, eggs, gluten, canola oil, soy, corn, things like that. That's why we pull those out, to stop feeding them. Now there's other triggers that cause the pain to be worse. Things like caffeine, because it's increasing adrenaline, sort of similar as if you did a really strong exercise routine or you did some kind of weekend warrior things and spent a whole day in the garden moving your body in ways it wasn't used to. The next day you could have more pain. Caffeine pushes adrenaline and spikes your nerve sensitivity. You might have environmental triggers, things like mold or chemicals or fragrances. You might notice that your pain is worse when you have a poor night's sleep or if you're under an extreme amount of stress. Stress drives adrenaline, which again is going to keep your pain cycles high. What's one thing you've noticed that always makes your pain worse? I'm curious. Leave me a comment below. Here's the part most people skip: the simple, powerful ways to calm pain from inside out. You want to eat as many anti-inflammatory, antiviral foods as possible. These are your fruits and vegetables. Think about berries and leafy greens and sweet potatoes and papaya and celery juice and cucumber juice. Hydration with mineral-rich water or green juices and fruit juices. Juice some oranges, juice some watermelons. These are going to calm the pain. There are some gentle supplements to bring in that are going to be really helpful for you. So because they're viral, you want to increase your immune system. So the 3 nutrients I like to bring in to increase the immune system are lysine, vitamin C, and zinc. Those 3. They're going to boost your immune system. Then you need some of the things to just overall calm your whole body down. Things like magnesium glycinate and a really high quality B12, like one with no alcohol and one that's with adenosine and methylcobalamin. Those 2 are key. You want to bring in anti-inflammatories in addition to the foods. So think like turmeric and curcumin. So yes, benefits in just turmeric and the benefits of curcumin. Hopefully you already know that curcumin is a subcomponent. It's the anti-inflammatory component of turmeric. But you can put turmeric in your food, on your food, and then you can take curcumin as a supplement. The other things I like to bring in are things to calm the nervous system, the herbs that are also antiviral and calming everything down, things like lemon balm and cat's claw. It's important too when you have pain, again, not to push the adrenaline with heavy exercise. So running might make you feel good, but it's also going to drive adrenaline, which is going to complicate the picture. And same thing with heavy weightlifting or anything that's too strenuous. So, but you still need the movement, right, for the circulation and the blood flow and the lymph to move. So movements like walking and stretching to keep the circulation going. And also, especially if you have nerve pain's funny. You can actually stretch the nerve and sometimes that makes it feel better, whereas other people, stretching that nerve makes it feel worse. So you just have to find your ideal movements. So then we also want to do practices that are calming to the nervous system. And this is going to be different for everyone too, because breath work can actually make it worse. So doing just focusing on your breath and really closing your eyes and lying horizontal, these can be really restoring. The more you can sort of calm your nervous system, calm your body with your mind, is so powerful, right? It's going to work as well, if not better, than ibuprofen. So you're going to calm everything down and just pacing yourself. And so again, just closing your eyes and lying horizontal and just resting and doing nothing is so healing. If you could feel just 20% less pain in the next month, what would that change for you? I'm curious. Leave me a comment. Pain isn't permanent when you understand where it's coming from. Pain has a cause, which means it has to have a solution. And you don't have to just live with it or push through. In fact, I don't recommend it, depending on the kind of pain that it is. But we're resilient, especially if you're a mom or a woman. I feel like those are the people that just push through or live with it. You just have to keep going. And pain is funny because you have this way of blocking it out. You could feel pain. I know during my times of life when I've had pain, yes, it's bothersome, but there's this way we have of just accepting it and blocking it out that sometimes we don't even notice. When you get really good at that, you don't even notice when it disappears. It's food for thought. I want to share an interesting story with you. So on this journey, right, I've seen lots of doctors, and I had seen a naturopath near me, and I had told her that I think that my sleep issues and my pain and some of the other issues that I'm having, constipation, I think is all tied to these heavy metals. And so I went to her thinking she would help me detox the heavy metals and things like that. I remember sitting in her office and just sort of talking to her about my different ailments. And I was like, yeah, I can just touch myself in weird spots. Like I just touch right here and it hurts. And I touch right here and it hurts. And she just gave me this look and she's like, Carrie, that's not normal. And I'm like, you don't feel that pain? And she's like, no, like I don't have any pain in my body whatsoever. And it was just wild to me because I'm sure because my family had it and other people had it, that I just thought, well, everybody has some kind of pain. I didn't even realize that I was unique. And so the things that I learned for her were helpful, but ultimately my journey got into nutrition after that. That was all before I became a health coach and a nutritionist. So I definitely figured out things better on my own, but she gave me some of the helpful hints along the way. What's one small change you're ready to make this week to start lowering your pain? Let me know in the comments. If you're ready to start lowering your pain, calming your inflammation, and finally feeling some relief, grab my free Long COVID Recovery Guide. It's packed with practical steps that you can start today. Don't forget to check out my new app. There's a link here on the end screen if you want my full daily method in your hands the second it launches. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing to my channel. Bye for now.